What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I do want to talk about my X factors for tomorrow's game against the New Orleans Saints. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. We are currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers and beyond. So definitely continue to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my X Factor players for tomorrow's game against the New Orleans Saints. As you know, this game will be played in New Orleans at 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And this is a huge game for our Atlanta Falcons and for both teams. Right now, the NFC South is very tight. We're one game behind the Buccaneers in the win column. So if we win tomorrow's game, we could easily be tied with the Buccaneers if they lose tomorrow. So everybody in this division is neck and neck right now. We're 5-8. The Panthers are 5-8. I believe the Saints are 4-9 and the Bucs are 6-7. So we all are right there. The NFC South crown is right there for the taking for all four teams. So the next four games is going to be huge for our Atlanta Falcons to finish the season strong. But with that being said, I do want to go ahead and give you guys my X Factor players for tomorrow's game. So on the offensive side of the ball, I usually go with one player. That's the X Factor. But for tomorrow's game, I believe that our offensive line as a whole will be the X factor for this game. You guys know I always talk about the game being won and lost in the trenches. And in this matchup against the New Orleans Saints, it's going to come down to our offensive line protecting our rookie quarterback, Desmond Ridder, who's going to have his first NFL start tomorrow on the road. And it's going to be up to them to protect him in this game, give him time to scan the field and look down the field. And it's also going to come down to them being able to control the line of scrimmage and allow us to run the football as we did in that first matchup against the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints is a very aggressive defense. They're one of the better defenses in the NFL. We know about Cam Jordan and that defensive line that they have. We know about the great linebacker play that they have over there in New Orleans with their middle linebacker, number 56. He's one of the best middle linebackers, inside linebackers in the NFL, and Demario Davis. So we definitely going to have to be prepared for a dogfight tomorrow. And I really think it's going to come down to our offensive line, starting with Chris Lindstrom, who to me has raised his play. To me, he's the best offensive lineman on our Atlanta Falcons team. And it's going to come down to us being able to block up front, give Desmond Ridder time, as I mentioned, to scan the field, give the running back space to run, being able to push the Saints around the field as we did in that first game. In the first game, if you go back to the first game of the season, our Atlanta Falcons ran the ball very well between Cordell Patterson and Marcus Mariota. Those two guys as a tandem ran the ball for plus 150 yards in that first matchup. So I definitely think in this game, this Falcons team is going to have to come out and establish the line of scrimmage, establish the run. When you're going up against the Saints, they like I said, they like to get after the quarterback. They like to pressure and blitz and bring that, A-gap pressure right up the middle. So guys like Drew Dahlman, Lindstrom, and Wilkerson, who we're getting back for tomorrow's game off the injury reserve, these guys are going to have to play well. Caleb McGarry and Jake Matthews, all five of those guys are going to have to play well in tandem or play well as a solid unit up front. And I really think that this Atlanta Falcons offensive line has had a pretty good season. They definitely have improved their gameplay or raised their game since last season, with this being their second year and this Arthur Smith scheme. They've raised their play. And I do think in this game, because you're playing in a hostile environment, New Orleans is going to be very loud, and it's going to come down to us being able to control the line of scrimmage, us being able to run the football. In this game, if we're able to run the football the way we have so far this season, where we're averaging like 4.6 yards a carry for the most part, if we can do that in this game, we won't allow the New Orleans Saints to pin their ears back and get after our rookie quarterback. And I think in this game, if you run the three-headed monster that we have in the backfield, Cordell Patterson, Caleb Huntley, and Tyler Algier, that three-headed monster is lethal at running the football and being physical. If you run these guys in this game and we're able to control the line of scrimmage, it'll open up the play-action pass. It'll give Desmond Ridder time to throw, and it'll open up some of those windows because those linebackers and safeties are going to have to creep down in the box to try to stop our running game. So on as far as the offense, I think that the offensive line as a whole or as a unison will be the X factors up front. If you just want to take one offensive lineman in this game to watch, is Chris Lindstrom. He's been a dog. He's been that guy all season that's been beasting up front. Pro Football Focus recently rated him the most valuable offensive lineman so far in 2022. And Chris Lindstrom really is going to get I believe he'll get a huge contract next season due to his play so far this season. Now, on the defensive side of the ball in this game against New Orleans, I also believe that it's going to come down to the defensive line as well, controlling the trenches, because they are playing a quarterback in Andy Dalton who will throw interceptions if you're able to pressure him. And we know up front on the defensive side of the ball, on that defensive line, everything starts and ends with Grady Jarrett, number 97, who is arguably a top 3 nose tackle, hands down, in the game. To me, other than Aaron Donald is the best in the league, but Grady Jarrett is not far behind Aaron Donald. To me, he is the second or third best defensive tackle in the NFL. This year, he's had a stellar year, 5.5 sacks so far this season, 10 tackles for loss in Grady Jarrett, and he is the leader in the locker room. He is the leader of this defense and one of the faces of this Atlanta Falcons franchise. And I expect Grady Jarrett in this game to have a big game. Being that Grady Jarrett is, to me, the best player on the defense other than A.J. Terrell, but being that he's the leader of this defense, if we're going to make the playoffs and if we're going to be able to go into New Orleans in a hostile environment and play well, your best players have to stand up, to the forefront. They have to be the players that change the game. And Grady Jarrett is a game changer type player. So I expect him in this game to take over this game. I expect Grady Jarrett to have a big game, at least a sack and a half in this game. Grady Jarrett is a guy you can move all over the defensive line, not only on the inside, but you also can put him on the outside as like a defensive end and allow him to rush the passer. And in this game, I would like to see them move Grady Jarrett around a little bit so that the Saints can't key in on him when he's on when he's coming after the quarterback and things of that nature. I wouldn't just line him up on the inside of the Saints defense, or the Saints offensive line, but I also would allow Grady Jarrett to move around a little bit, how we seen a little bit earlier in the season where they kind of moved Grady Jarrett around to give him opportunities to match up against different players so they can't just double team him all game. But in this game, I think Grady Jarrett's going to have a big game. Like I said, playmakers make plays in big time moments, and being that Grady Jarrett makes top dollar, he is one of those guys that I feel is a playmaker and one of the superstars in this league. I think Grady Jarrett's going to make some big plays when it matters most in the crucial moments in this game. I think Grady Jarrett's going to be one of those guys that stands up and he's going to stand out in this game and he's going to make a play, whether it's a strip sack fumble, whether it's him batting a pass, causing an interception. I think somehow, some way in this game, Grady Jarrett's going to have his fingerprints all over this game if this Falcons team is going to win this game in New Orleans and possibly, win these games to make the playoffs down the stretch. It's going to come down to your playmakers, and Grady Jarrett is one of those guys. Now, he is going to need the guys around him, just like I talked about Chris Lindstrom. He is going to need Arnold Ebiketie. He is going to need Ogundeji and all these other guys on the defensive line, Lorenzo Carter. He's going to need these guys around him to step up as well, because football is the ultimate team sport. But in this game, I expect Grady Jarrett to be that guy on the defense that sets the tone. If you look at the games that we've won, when we beat the Seattle Seahawks early in the season, Grady Jarrett came up with a crucial sack at the end of the game. When we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though they took away the sack and called roughing the passer, Grady Jarrett had a huge sack, which should have got our defense off of the field on third down when they called that phantom roughing the passer call. So when Grady Jarrett's name has been called and when the game has been in the balance, he's been the guy that's been making those plays in crucial moments. And I don't look no further in this game to think that Grady Jarrett's going to come up with some type of big play in this game to swing the momentum in the Falcons' favor. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of the video. You guys let me know who your X Factor players are for this game tomorrow. As I mentioned, I believe that this game is going to be about the trenches because this is a hated rival. The Saints are a team that likes to try to bully you in the trenches. And the Falcons, to me, in that first game, we controlled the trenches. We dominated the trenches. We just didn't play, all 4 quarters. But I think in this game, the Falcons are going to look and think back to that first game of the season and learn from their mistakes. And I really think that this team has matured over this season. Even though we're one of the youngest rosters in the NFL, I do think that these players are learning how to close out games. And I expect them to come out, play well in this game against the Saints. And I expect Grady Jarrett on the defensive side of the ball, along with that defensive line and our offensive line and that running game to carry us in this game. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. You guys let me know what you think of the video. As I mentioned, let me know who you think you may think who will be the X factor in this game that may help the Falcons get this victory. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy my content, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. We are currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers and beyond. And with that being said, as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.